What's going on, YouTube? It's Frank and I'm back. It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon, 45 degrees, and I'm going to look at another piece of property. So I wanted to bring you along for the ride. If you haven't watched my first adventure of looking at property for myself and my family, I'll put a link in the description below. Check it out. If you haven't subscribed to me, I do all kinds of various content, from cooking to various things my job takes me on. I'm now trying to look for a piece of property for myself and my family to just spend the weekend at. It's looking for something within 3 hours of my house. I'd prefer to find something that's on some fishable water. The ultimate golden piece of property would be a piece of property on a major waterway or a major river, such as the Muskegon River, the Pere Marquette, the Manistee, somewhere in that general vicinity. The Pine River is another great river that's up here in northern Michigan. But yeah, so a little bit about the piece of property that I'm going to look at. It's in the same general area that the property last week that I showed you is in. This piece is 4 acres versus 1 acre. This piece of property does not sit on a major river, but it does have a designated trout stream, a Class 1 trout stream that runs right through the middle. So that's something that I'm interested in. I think having a small trout stream running through your property to fish at on the weekend would be pretty dang amazing. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. The downside to that is that this 4-acre piece of property has a trout stream, a designated trout stream that runs through the middle. Can I build a bridge over that designated trout stream? These are things to consider. If it's a 4-acre piece of property that has a trout stream that runs through it, but you can't build a bridge across it, you're not really buying 4 acres of property. You're buying 2 acres of property. So, how hard is it to get to the other side of the property? Can you access it from the road? These are all things to consider. These are all things I'm going to look at, while I'm up here. If you watched my other video, I mentioned that sometimes when you look at property, oftentimes when you look at property online, and then you go and you see in person, what you see in the ad for the property is not what you see when you look at it in person. Supposedly, the person I spoke with about this piece of property, it's this property was already sold, and then the buyers went to, they bought it sight unseen. Then they went to go and look at it before they paid their money, and they were like, wait a second, this isn't what I'm looking for. So not uncommon. I helped my father-in-law find some property last year, for the last couple years, but it took us a couple years to look at property.
In 10 miles, take exit 153 onto US 10 toward Ludington.
There you go. So yeah, we looked at several pieces of property online. Then you'd go to look at it and you'd find a big pile of trash on it that you have to remove, and you have to, there's that whole aspect to it. Or there'd be a big, a big trailer that it's completely run down and needs to be disposed of, or a big pile of tires, or something on the property that was, you're just like, I'm not interested in cleaning up somebody's mess before I can start doing what I want to do with it. So there's that. So we'll see what's going on with this. The other thing is that this piece of property is priced very similar to the 1-acre piece of property that I looked at last week. I called the realtor, and the realtor's, I don't quite understand it, but it's like it's an affiliate salesperson. I didn't quite understand the whole concept, but basically it's not a realtor. It's like a broker, but they're not really a broker. They're just, so they basically gave me the address. They said, go look at it. If you like it, buy it. realtor's not going to meet you out there. The realtor's not going to find anything out for you. It has been surveyed, which they provided me with those documents. So it's been surveyed, but there's, they're not providing you with tax records. They're not providing you with anything. It's just basically, again, here's the address. Go look at it. If you like it, buy it. Found it. All right, I'm here. Found the property, and it's a bust. It's exactly kind of what I was saying on my way up here on my little intro. Sometimes you come out to these pieces of property, and it's not what it appears in the photos. This particular piece of land. Here, let me turn the camera around. I'll show you what I see. All right, so here's, hopefully you can hear me with the wind. So here's the creek. As I understand it, there's one side of the property over here, another side over here. But this road right here is a busy road. That's not something I'm interested in being on. There's 2 vehicles coming literally as we speak. But so as I pull up to the property, all I see is this marsh. This is all marshy here. This is all marsh. And it goes back literally as far as you can see. So the entire frontage needs to be dealt with before you can even get back into the property. Kind of walking along as I was pulling up, and yeah, I mean, there's standing water here. Who knows what I'm even walking on, but it's all frozen as far back as you can see. To the point where I have yet to even find a spot where I could even walk in on what I would know to be property. So here, that's where I was just walking from. But this is all marsh, which you didn't see in the photos that they showed you. All right, so I just got back in my 4Runner here, and yeah, the property's a bust. I can't even locate a spot to even walk into the property without first going through a big marsh. So my guess is that is why the first buyers have already backed out. In the photos of the property, which I can insert them here in the video, it makes it out to be this great looking piece of land, and I was all excited about it. Been bugging my wife about it, for the last several days. Looking at it, calling around, looking at it on maps, looking at it on Google Earth, which Google Earth, I just look like a barren piece of property. But once again, you get up here and you find out that everything that I can see is a frozen piece of ice, which means that it floods. So that sucks. Another one off the list. All right, so obviously that other property was a complete bust, which sucks. But that's probably why the price is what it is. The price is, the same price as this one piece of property. So I decided to come back over here to where I was at last week, in the previous video, just to kind of check it out. Obviously, it's a super nice day. I wanted to see if there was any tracks, see if there's anything else I could spot. So here, let's walk around a little bit. All right, no tracks that I could see. There's the river again, and it's kind of interesting because right there is where I was standing last time. And obviously that's all muddy. We're getting a lot of snow, as you can see, so all that snowfall was running off. It's still really peaceful. Can't find any signs of wildlife anywhere. This is kind of cool. I don't know what that's all about, but somebody was clearly here. It's grown into the tree. So yeah, the hunt continues. Let's we'll keep going, see where this leads us, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, and yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. So as I was leaving the little area there, I had a guy flag me down. He saw my Marine Corps license plate. He had a Navy hat on. Introduced myself, told him what I was looking for. And kind of asked him a little bit about the property. Asked him about the area. Obviously, the guy's very observant, which is something that I'm kind of happy to have run into. Obviously, that guy was checking me out. He's on guard. Veteran. He said there's several veterans there in the immediate area, which is awesome, in my opinion. Everybody kind of looks out for each other, but he did say, I was questioning about the price of the property and, who else is in the area and what else goes on, and, just common questions for a semi-off-grid piece of property. And yeah, he was very open, told me the price that they're asking for the piece of property is a little on the high side. So I was happy to hear that. I mean, I personally, I think it's a good deal as it is, but he seemed to think I was crazy for thinking it was a good deal. So that should work out to my favor. But yeah, it's good. So when you're looking at property, I guess my point is when you're looking at property, don't be afraid to talk to people in the immediate area. Try to draw some attention to yourself. See what happens. See if anybody will come up and talk to you. And if nothing else, go talk to them. Find out what it's all about. If you buy a piece of property and you want to know who your neighbors are, especially if you're in the woods, you don't know who you're going to be next to, what their intentions are, what's going on. You get off the beaten path a little bit, and you mirror into some characters out there. Yeah, so I wanted to fill you in. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. He actually approached me. I was in the area. That was something I was going to do, was try and talk to somebody. But yeah, this guy just walks up on me. He's like, I saw your Marine Corps license plate. What's going on? And I just said, hey, I'm looking at this piece of property, and so we just hit it off and started chatting. But yeah.